follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Doug Kazarian. Paulie Howard is on vacation this week. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Loaded 3-hour program lined up today. Plenty on the Open Championship, which will begin out here on the West Coast tomorrow night, actually. And then obviously Thursday morning, pretty much everywhere else. Russ Reynolds on the program in an hour. His best bets. We have John Hasselbauer on the program today. Dalen Cuff on soccer. Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of this great property. We'll get into the World Cup game. Then we have the match at halftime, the Major League Baseball All-Star game tonight. Pretty active Tuesday here, middle of July. Doug, how you doing?
Yeah, a little soccer game going on. The
kind of a big one.
The one we've circled, right? This is the championship, right? That's what everyone's saying.
Easy.
I'm just ready to hammer against whoever loses this in the third place game.
Yeah, that's kind of the thought, I think, right?
And now odds makers obviously know. So the question is, how much will they adjust?
Well, here's the question, right? Because I read a lot on that today. People with strong opinions saying that Mbappe, like, there's no chance he would play in the third place game if they lose this match.
He definitely will.
He definitely will?
I think so. He's going for the goals.
That's exactly what my thought was. I'm like, hold on a second here. You don't think people have said that he has an ego the size of like the galaxy, the Milky Way?
It's like Brett Favre
So
retirement.
he doesn't
you
want to
don't
win
ask
this?
him after the game. Probably after the game, if they lose, he'll say, no.
Yeah, that's exactly
give
right.
Give it a couple days.
Yeah.
Let it breathe.
I would imagine so if Mbappe loses this match today, Messi loses tomorrow against England, and they're still tied at 8 apiece, they're both going to say, we're good. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Of course not.
So it's been a...
Look at us just taking the fun out of sports and just looking at betting angles instead of actually with the game that's going on right now.
It's been pretty decent. I would say this is coulda, woulda, shoulda. Do you agree with the penalty that was on France, which allowed Spain to score the only goal of the match so far? If you do not, then you're mad, and you should probably think, or you are thinking, it should be 0-0. I would say that if you agreed with the penalty, then you would have to say that there's actually a pretty decent chance Spain's up 2-0 because they had, and I told you this too, we were watching together in the book here before for the first half. That opportunity that Spain had in the 38th minute, as the diehard soccer people tell me, that was a world-class opportunity, and they just missed another goal.
Well, this is the joke. It's basically soccer crumbing. It's breadcrumbing. That's what a goal is. You get all these amazing edge-of-your-seat sort of sequencing, and then you get it taken away.
Yeah, does it pop or not? That's what it comes down to.
Right, but that's what makes the highlights when there's an actual goal so special and so exhilarating. I was thinking about this, like betting. I haven't bet a ton in this World Cup because obviously I don't know a ton of soccer, but obviously I try to pick my spots, like the angles, especially in group play and Japan team total that one Saturday night, things like that. Betting unders is really hard in this sport because as soon as you get that first goal, everything changes.
It does.
Everything changes.
Especially in this specific version of the World Cup because we have had so many goals late, and a ton of them, I think it's over 30 that have happened beyond 90 minutes.
Well, that's just, I'm talking more, once you get to the knockout round, obviously group play is different, but
right.
I mean, this game, I'd be betting over 2.5.
You feel comfortable with that? I wonder, so Spain has been so good. They've only allowed one goal so far in the entire tournament. That is unbelievable, like historically good defense. What is their philosophy? And they actually, I thought, were trying to score more goals in the first half to go up 1-0, go up beyond that. Do they change the philosophy here in the second half and just say, no, too good of a defense. We're going to park the bus, so to speak, and let's just keep France off the scoreboard, and we're totally happy with a 1-0 win? So
my understanding, that sort of park the bus would occur in the last 15 minutes. I think Spain still has to keep their foot on the gas because you can't just park the bus against a team like France for an entire second half.
It seems difficult.
And also, this reminds me of kind of peak Georgia-Bama SEC, when so much stats were accumulated during the regular season back when Vandy was terrible and some of these other teams were just nowhere close to them. And odds makers had to come up with player props for the SEC title game. And it's like, how do these wide receivers are going to play a full game for the first time all season because they were killing opponents, back in the two-a-days and those Alabama team totals.
Yeah, they're probably out of the game in the third quarter.
Right, so and you don't know the game plan because it's going to be such a different script. So here, yes, Spain's defense has been incredible. And it's not easy because other teams have given up goals to inferior opponents. But they haven't been playing France all tournament. So I'm expecting a goal from France, or I'm expecting they're going to just extend themselves so much that they're going to leave themselves vulnerable on the back end.
Okay, fair enough. $1.90 on Spain right now to qualify. That's at DraftKings. And there was just some movement as I speak on the three-way. Spain just moved from $1.30 favorite on the three-way at DK to $1.20. France is plus 380. Are you in? Does the draw? Is it speaking to you right now at plus 225? Maybe you can find higher than that.
Yeah, that is. I mean, the over 2.5 is $1.45 minus $1.45. So I could see certainly 1-1. I just think you get a goal and then things could still open up. I don't think they're going to play super conservatively. I think they do that. What is that? In like the last 8 minutes of regulation when there's a tie game.
Yeah, but also don't forget about the hydration break. So maybe if you just wait a couple of minutes here after halftime, that over 2.5 juice will come closer to even money. You can factor in that hydration break, and France really then goes balls to the wall. And then you can get maybe like even money on over 2.5.
Like a tactical reset, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like their third win, so to speak, I guess,
right,
for the match. And they realize there's no tomorrow here. This is it.
Yeah, I think they're comfortable. You're right, because it's going to take a while till they go all out because their status quo of attack is still pretty lethal. So they don't need to be vulnerable in the back end in order to score a goal, so to speak. Have they had many chances in the first half? Not that that's always indicative, but just from a schematics, is Spain's defense sort of neutralizing that overwhelming offense with such speed?
Overall stats so far, Spain has had possession 55% of the time. They've had Spain now, speaking of them, 5 shots, 1 shot on goal. France, 2 shots, 0 shots on goal so far. 0. There was I'll call this like an exquisite gamble by the goalie late when Mbappe leaked out, actually. I think he was still onside, and that would have been an easy goal, but he came all the way out of the goal to kick that ball because I think he realized, if I'm going to be one-on-one with Mbappe, I have no chance of stopping him. And if he misses on that gamble, that's going to be the equalizer right there for France.
I was hoping I'd get better odds at next goal Spain, and it's only plus 175.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
Just in case.
No second goal, so this is our final, nearly 5-1. Yeah.
Boy, don't you think, so you think the France offensive attack wins out here. That's the best in the world compared to Spain's defense, which has been the best in the world in this tournament.
I think we're in the second half underway, obviously. I think we're likely to get scoring because of that first goal and when it occurred.
Okay.
And who had it. Right? I think Spain having it opens the game up.
Yeah, totally fair. So we'll keep you abreast of the entire second half here over the next hour, maybe plus of the live betting numbers. Some best bets here at VSiN on this match. Steve Wiss was on the program yesterday. He really liked the over 2.5, small ladder on over 3.5. Chris Vasily was the exact opposite. He liked under in this game and under tomorrow. Nigel had Spain to qualify plus 130.
So to go through?
Nigel Seeley to qualify today at that play. And that actually kept going up. I think plus 130s were available before they started the match.
Spain has looked like the better team.
I would agree.
It's only a half. Things can change. But so far, that's how I would assess it.
Takeaways from last night's home run derby. I was on the right player in the wrong market. I had Jordan Walker to have the longest home run. That went to Junior Caminero. I did not have Jordan Walker to win the event, which kudos to those of you who did. He popped it at 7-1 or higher, and the in-play number against Schwarber was massive. He had to homer in his final 6 swings.
Did I hear that right? Schwarber was bet so much it was down to like plus 130 at some point?
Oh, is that right? He was that big of a...
He was what, $3 when we had the show yesterday?
Yeah. Well, I noticed this. Before... This is on the way home, on my way out of circuit here. Ben Rice at some books moved from like plus $9 to higher than 11-1.
Yeah, I heard that.
And so our conversation with Chris Bennett yesterday here at Circus, like, I took a little on 11-1 just because I'm like, he didn't win. But if they had this thing 11 different times, does Ben Rice win one of them? Maybe. I thought it was worth a bet.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, sure, he could. So at that number, like, what's the difference between him and some of the other guys who are priced at 4-1 or maybe a little bit lower than that?
I didn't go fully deep on this because I had other stuff going on, things like that. Was there any sort of horrible pitcher or anything like that they brought? Anything that was just a giant egg laid.
Oh, people were mocking Rice's
Okay.
Rice's pitcher. Yeah, I think it was his dad. It just like it was his dad. It was like Mariano Rivera out there throwing the cutter to him. And I know that he was like, when I was on social media watching it, just like, yeah, people just can't get enough of this and ripping on the guy. How about Bryce Harper hitting the problem gambler sign
That
last
was
night?
Poetic.
The timing of that could not have been any better.
Former coworker of mine at ESPN had tweeted that picture. It's so good. So good. They couldn't even take it down either. That's because it probably got a lot of camera time, right?
Sure.
I mean, that's part of the,
Well,
I would
plus-
imagine, the sales package. Whenever they sell, to say, hey, All-Star Game, Home Run Derby is at our stadium.
Yeah, like what do you think that company is paying for to advertise in that exact spot? Probably a lot of cash.
I mean, it's all brand awareness, all this stuff. I mean, it goes back to, I always use the example of Jeff Gordon with the DuPont car. I need to paint something. I'm not a fix-it guy. Once in a blue moon, I'll need to walk down the aisle at Home Depot to buy some paint, and I see DuPont. I'm like, oh, that's a name brand.
You know
I've
that
heard.
one.
Right. It has nothing to do with Jeff Gordon in my head, but subconsciously, I feel like it's a good brand.
Mm-hmm. You're not a big DIY guy?
No. I know the perfect sort of apps to use to pay someone to do it, though.
Just as important, I guess, right?
Yes. TaskRabbit, all that stuff.
Yeah, there are certain things around the house I feel pretty comfortable with. Other stuff, no chance.
I put together a bookshelf that took all night that I was pretty proud of.
That's pretty good.
Bare hands of assembly.
Not bad. Up next, we will dive into tonight's Major League Baseball All-Star Game from a betting perspective. We'll look at the Yerfy-Nerfy from previous years. Total runs scored, first 5 innings, all coming up here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Spain had another look about a minute ago. No good. They still lead France 1-0 here, 53rd minute as they play in the World Cup semifinals. Winner of this match will advance to the title game and take on the winner of tomorrow's match, England and Argentina. Also tonight, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. So treading lightly with bets on this match tonight, Doug, is how I'm going to put it. A couple that I have in pocket, as Dustin Sweetelson says here at the network, for funsies.
Funsies, right.
That's pretty much it. So Mike Trout is leading off for the American League tonight. He is a South Jersey guy. He is beloved in Philadelphia.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Big Eagles fan.
Absolutely. We have had rumors about the Phillies trading for Mike Trout, like for as long as I can remember, right? Is this finally going to be the year where the Angels say, okay, enough's enough, we're not going to win, and they have just refused to trade him, and Philadelphia would be like the ultimate landing spot. He is going to get cheered as if he's one of their own in this game tonight. So a couple of bets that I took, again, just to have some fun, some entertainment here. This is kind of like Derek Jeter in his last ever All-Star game was plus money to have a hit, and I was like, he's the most clutch player of our lifetime. How the hell is he not going to get a hit at like plus 175? Of course he got a hit right away. Now, this is not like Mike Trout's last game ever, but being from Philadelphia, this is all like based on narrative, obviously.
You going to get the Chan-Ho Park treatment like
Maybe.
Cal Ripken Jr. got?
Because I thought about that. Sanchez is starting tonight. Would Philly fans actually like Sanchez more if he grooved onto Mike Trout and he hit a home run?
Induce him to maybe come join him?
Sure. Would you like to come here, Mike, and play? Would you want to be the final piece that puts us over the top?
Here's a meatball.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you the meatball. Now, can you deposit this 420 feet over the left field wall?
I mean, the game doesn't matter. It's an exhibition.
Of course.
As much as they do try hard, and we give them credit for that, as opposed to other sports, why not?
So I would figure Trout's probably going to get, 2 at-bats in this game?
At least, to your point of fan favorite, things like that, he's going to be one of the last guys get pulled.
Sure. So he's leading off for a reason. I figured twice, maybe 3 at-bats, 10-1 on him to hit a home run was put in the account today, and also 30-1 to win the MVP. Because if by chance he hits a leadoff home run, well then, first of all, the 10-1 cashes, and then that 30-1 to win the MVP turns into like a very short shot here.
The fan vote counts for 20%, and those votes are due around the 6th inning.
I hate that part.
And voting remains open, though, but it
Yep.
starts in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
And then 80% of the vote is from a hybrid of media, MLB.com, official scorer, announcers from the game, Fox Sports, ESPN Radio, MLB International.
And that would certainly be a narrative-based thought tonight, I think, by many who have an impact there. Trout going back to Philadelphia, hits a home run, has an impact overall. Yeah, he's won, by the way, MVPs in this game before.
In past years, you said the guy's late inning, so justifiable MVP votes, not totally narrative, hokey votes that have been in the past, right?
Yep. I know
So-
JVT earlier today was making a case for James Wood. He's not starting. He's been blistering hot. James Wood is ranked number 1 in Yahoo Fantasy. That's how good of a season he's having overall out of every single player in the league, batter or pitcher. So what if he comes in late?
He's pretty good.
He's really damn good.
You're right.
I actually don't mind. He's like 25-1. I don't mind that at all.
Why not?
Sure. A little bit on that. So I also went back and looked. Like, I don't know. This may be it could be an unfair question. What do you think is a long enough time to go back and look at a sample size for like the Yerfy-Nerfy bets, runs in the first inning, first 3, first 5 of the Major League Baseball All-Star game?
I think you have to take away maybe the juiced era.
Okay.
And I would remove actually when it decided home field.
Home field?
I would remove that.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. I went back. At first I did like the last 25 years, get back to 2000. It's a nice round number.
I mean, pitchers were juiced too. So.
No doubt. Yeah. Nerfies were 16-9
Okay.
last 25 years. I was actually a little surprised. I thought it was going to be like all unders, first 3, first 5, right? Not the case. Last 25 years, but this does include part of the, quote, steroid era. First 3 innings, 13 games went over 1.5 runs. First 5 innings, 14 of those games went over 3.5 runs. Is that a goal by Spain? Chalk went up.
Wow.
2-0 Spain,
go.
58th minute. Oh, boy.
Plus 175 for the next goal being Spain. That was on the 3-way, by the way, because no goal would have been 5-1. So Spain cashes there. They're obviously a heavy favorite to go through, and 2.5's on the ropes right now.
Oh, the France fans are completely panicking, obviously, now in the stands. And, boy, they're on delay here in the book. They're going crazy out here. A bunch of people
I
in
was
Spain,
going to say, I
obviously.
thought that was a cheer maybe for the offside delayed penalty
Yeah,
or
right,
something,
right.
VAR.
Yeah, hold on here. We got to take 11 minutes with the VAR.
We touched on this yesterday. It's gotten to the point where you can't celebrate a goal, and it feels like the NFL with the flag. You have to wait to see if there's a flag anywhere because the announcers don't really clue you in either. They're not helping with the wait. There's a flag on the play in the backfield. You know, they don't tell you where it is either all the time. And we as sports fans kind of can gauge because if it's in the secondary, 95% of the time it's on the defense. But they don't tell you that. They just say flag on the play.
There was a total breakdown by the France defense. Total breakdown.
That was a pretty tough goal, to be, all things considered, because the angle and his being right-footed.
Yeah, that was certainly not an easy one for him.
The goalie came out, and then there was a defender coming crashing hard from the left side. That was well played.
Yeah, they have to count this. I can't imagine that they're not going to, but it's VAR, so are they actually going to go to it? I know the France, the manager and everybody else, they were looking at it like, hey, boys, we might want to look at this one.
And there's a little bit of a win-win for the Gipper, so to speak. This is their coach's last hurrah, right?
Riding off into the sunset. Yeah, I want to get him his second World Cup victory, which now we're talking like kind of uncharted territory there. It's gonna remain.
Yeah, we're underway.
2-0 Spain. So now what?
So okay, I was gonna say going back to baseball.
Yeah.
How long did that deep dive take you for these Nerfies and Yerfies?
Oh, it took me a while.
Yeah,
It took me a while. So, but also like I did do the whole steroid era to see what it was like back then, and actually Nerfy still won out. I went from like 92 to 2005. That's right around the whole steroid time. But the over in the first 5 was 11-3 in that time, and the over in the first 3 was 10-4. Even if you go back, I went back to like 1980 as well to see what that was like. And the Yerfies, Nerfies kind of split. The first 3 overs dominated, and we had more first 5 overs as well.
You You got to have a strong stomach for that stuff. I rarely bet it now in regular season play. I like the idea, but we don't have the dominant starters like we almost did
Right.
with the guy with the injuries and whatnot.
Well, if we had Mizorowski going tonight and Schlittler, I'd probably pay $1.30 on the Nerfy.
So last year we had a high-scoring game at 7-6, but then before that,
Oh, dog.
we had a run of like 5 straight unders.
There's another goal. Oh, okay, were they going to wave this one off? They're going to say that he was offside. The France defense is absolutely falling apart. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
but that
please.
was, oh, boy. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Is this Arizona, Michigan here? Final Four?
That's a good analogy. Yeah, again, they erupted here, thought it was a goal, but it's not.
It's going to get waved off.
Yeah.
I was looking at the under with the pitchers and whatnot. It's really hard to do first 3, first 5 because I do that during the regular season, and one crooked number burns you.
I know.
Whereas you can just kind of weather the storm if you bet the game. Even first 5, you can weather one crooked number.
Well, so when
So 8's for the game, 8 or 8.5.
Yeah. By the way, the sports calendar never stops, and the Sharp Plays covers it all, and they've been winning for 15 consecutive years. All of it is documented. Logs posted publicly at the website, which is sharpplays.com. That kind of transparency is rare in this industry, and when the Sharp Plays moves, the sportsbooks take notice. Advanced AI, trusted insider intel, they find the value before the numbers shift. Respected, watched, and feared. Start winning with them at sharpplays.com. So when I was digging in, I expected Nerfies to dominate. I also expected the first 3s to be like overwhelmingly under. Not the case. So it put me off a bet. I assumed that I was going to have a bet on under 1.5 plus money, but I just, and again, maybe based on history, it has nothing to do with it, but.
Well, in theory, the best batters are in the starting lineup.
And they're probably at the very top of the order, right?
The fan vote is pretty, like, genuine. Like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
As opposed to some of these other sports where certain guys get the starter in the NBA and whatnot. So, yeah, the best bats. And then you can match up certain relievers with certain bats later in the game. Now, the new rule, right? You can have to face at least 3 batters or end the inning. I don't think that's going to apply here because Dick Kershaw got a standing ovation for 1 batter.
Okay, yeah.
But that's part of the equation. National League, home field does matter from a strategy standpoint, so they should be favored.
Yeah. Also, the total is ticked up.
I don't like that because I was looking at the under.
Yeah.
I like unders in general.
8.5? Would you take 8.5? Or are you too scared off it at that point?
Under or pass for me. 9 times out of 10, I bet an under.
All right, we're going to start getting some best bets for the Open Championship on the show. We have great guests coming up. Wes Reynolds in 35 minutes. And Scotty Scheffler had an odd soundbite today. Some will fade him as a result. Me, not so much, but hear what he had to say coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up on the 69th minute of the semifinal in the World Cup between Spain and France, which is not too nice for France, by the way. They trail 2-0, and Spain still being aggressive here on the attack. And right now at DK on the 3-way, Spain, a $12 favorite to advance. The draw is up to plus 850.
Did you happen to catch that offside call?
I missed that,
So
actually.
the telestration, the computer.
Yeah.
The offensive player, both feet were onside compared to the other guys, the defenders, both feet. The torso and waist as well. But when he was running, his right arm was just kind of like there towards the goal. And his fingertips, because he stuck out his right arm, that was the only thing.
He's offside then.
So everything else, feet, waist, torso, were clearly, the other guy was literally, waist was in front of him.
Wow. Now, I don't love
That's ridiculous to me.
Of course it is.
That is against the whole purpose of offside.
You're exactly right.
It should be feet.
I think it should be closer to the NFL rule with is the quarterback beyond the line of scrimmage?
The whole body.
Right. And you can be, the entire body can, I don't love this rule, but his entire body can be past it. And as long as his arm is not, it's going to be okay.
I just think it should be feet. I mean, that's what we do in the offsides
Yeah.
in football, out of bounds. It's all about, it should be the feet.
That seems a bit
Hot,
aggressive.
the blue line, right?
Yeah, there's also, and look, I mean, I'm a soccer novice. You would admit to the same thing. A lot of us are here. I have loved this tournament. Like I've said 47,000 times. I think there needs to be, like the letter of the law, the fine print needs to change a little bit here. You need to realize when you're watching this stuff happen that a lot of it is inadvertent by these players. JVT was making the case that the penalty today on France was, I thought it was actually a penalty. He disagreed. Okay. But a lot of the stuff that happens, the players are not doing it intentionally. And it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a yellow card when they go and look at it.
I have a tough time with the offsides when the defense scoots up to draw an off. It reminds me of basketball when shorter players run over just to get underneath a guy. It's one thing if somebody's driving on you and they jump into you or they push off. I'm okay with that offensive foul. But running over just to get in front of someone who's about to take off for a dunk or whatever, that's not defense.
Yeah.
Running up to kind of just bait someone, I don't know.
No, I agree.
I mean, I guess it's strategy, and if an entire back line can do it, then reward them for teamwork. That's why the blue line does make a lot of sense in hockey.
Yeah. All right. So the Open Championship again begins later on in the week. I did add a bet to the portfolio today. It is Xander Schauffele to go top 10 here at Circa plus 320. So tinkering around with some stuff for the most part this year, using some AI generated like golf models. That was the best bet that it liked. It actually liked it at plus 270. And I said, hold on a second here, doctor. I found plus 320. Then it went from like an A to an A plus immediately.
Right.
When I plugged in the price and other stats that I was providing the model and everything like that. So that's a bet for me. Also, when I was making that bet, I also realized here at Circa, they had Scotty Scheffler even money to go top 10. I went back to bet it. He moved to minus 120.
That's a big difference.
You got to be fast. So I did not bet Scotty today. But even money, if it goes back there, I probably will have a bet on that. Scotty today, he's a little bit weird with the sound bites once in a while. Today, no exception. Here he was asked about his legacy.
I mean, to be completely honest, not really. I don't really play like for a place in history. I'm not playing for anything like that because, like, it's going to sound a little morbid, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm going to live my life and then it's going to end. And when it ends, I'm going somewhere else and I'm not going to be here anymore.
As Christopher Powers tweeted out in the golf world, Scotty's asked about his legacy. Scotty's response, we're all going to die.
He just turned 30.
Yeah.
Who's asking that question?
Well, a bunch of people were asking it today because they asked him and they asked Rory. So I guess it turned into a thing this week at the Open Championship.
Have you ever been wondering about your legacy at 30?
Well, now how about this? When JVT and I recorded Pot of the Futures last night, available now wherever you get your podcasts, JVT brought up the question, is this like the downslide for Scotty? Like, are we watching it right now? Are we going to look back next year and say, yeah, his prime's done?
So he's, so who's flamed out from a couple of Spieth and some of these other guys?
Oh, yeah, a bunch of guys do. I mean
Duval.
Duval was just, almost overnight.
He was never Scotty.
No, he was not.
No, I said that, not that you thought that. I was just joking. But yeah, I mean, some guys are flash in the pan and then they go away. I don't think he'll go away, but I touched on it yesterday. I've been saying it for weeks. Until he demonstrates he can putt normally,
right?
You cannot bet him at these numbers.
Yeah.
I have to see it before I believe it. As much as I know sports betting is about anticipating and not reacting, it's been going on for too long.
I told JVT if he's onto something here, I said, we'll look back. I'll give it one full year. And that might be too short a time. But I said, if we look back next year at Scotty and say, yeah, that you were onto something, I'll buy him dinner at Barry's.
I disagree a little bit with that notion because he has battled back and finished top 5 and top 10 when, Tiger would withdraw with a back injury if he had the start that Scotty did sometimes. I mean, he just missed his first cut in eons last weekend.
Right.
So this is a guy who's still battling over the weekend. He had that whole bizarre arrest and everything that derailed him. And then he had, his regular caddy that weekend had to go for a wedding or something like that. So he didn't have his normal caddy on one day of that tournament. So he's been fine. I think the field is just really good. Golf right now is really good. And some guys are just going to catch lightning in a bottle. And Scheffler is going to look like Scotty lost. And yes, that playoff putt was gross a couple weeks ago. But aside from that, he's still been pretty solid. He just hasn't been dominant, which is fine. But that's why I don't bet him to win. But I'm not ready to write him off per se in terms of a backside of his career.
No, neither am I. This is also an ongoing thing. It happened recently with Jordan Spieth, and he was like a partner with a national sports book. This is Matthew Fitzpatrick, very popular again this week. And he was asked the question, and he went down this whole path of sports bettors definitely have an influence, and they're very aggressive out there when golfers are out there swinging away.
Footballers, tennis players, you name it, everyone's getting messages of, oh, you missed that penalty, you cost me this, or you didn't make a birdie, cost me this. Like, I've had my fair share. I would say every golfer that's played a professional tournament has had a message of abuse from someone that is related to gambling. I mean, you could see it this week. You go and type in a player's name that maybe isn't playing well, maybe someone who's favored to play well. You type their name into Twitter and you'll just see their name followed by abuse after abuse after abuse. It is definitely becoming a problem, and the issue is obviously, particularly in golf, it would be very easy to influence a bet, whether it's you're shouting on someone's backswing, shouting on a putting stroke. It's really easy, and obviously that is really hard to monitor, but it is definitely an issue.
What do you think?
I could do an hour on this topic. I mean, there's different layers to this. First and foremost, people who do that, I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. I've never done that, thankfully.
They need to be banned.
That is just the worst of the worst. And fortunately, the fantasy space doesn't really do that. They'll do it playfully before betting was ever legalized. So it's definitely been gambling, and it's not fantasy. It's definitely been sports betting. And I would say, sports betting is going to always exist, just like it's always existed before 2018 PASPA. But it's now popularized, the next generation, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely did not exist like this than before. With that being said, it's also everywhere. And it's everywhere because teams, players, leagues are all taking the advertising money. And it's really not that much money, all things considered. You don't have to take the money. I mean, Katie Nolan was just recently talking about how she does not want her podcast having any sports betting. Because if she has people who don't bet, who are young, turning 18, 21, whatever it is, she does not want to be, quote unquote, an enabler or whatever. She'd rather just have conventional sponsors. I mean, does Derek Jeter really need to do like FanDuel or whatever it is? Does Fitzpatrick really need that money that he's advertising on
Obviously,
FanDuel?
the answer is none of them need to.
None of them.
Right.
And I mean, you can make the argument ESPN doesn't and stuff like that. It's not that much money when you look at what they're spending on these TV deals and things like that. I know everything adds up, but if it's really that egregious or whatever, you don't have to. Now, with that being said, I also think the onus is on a lot of the sports books who make it like state lotto and things like that instead of Wall Street, right? They have these guys giving out picks, and it's an egregious around the landscape of network TV where everyone's just a betting analyst instead of having actual street cred or credibility. But I don't know. You're part of the solution. You're part of the problem. I don't know the answer to it either. That's the other issue.
Now, is this beyond heckling?
Yes.
Well, what about when a player like Vernon Maxwell, right?
I mean, Chelsea Gray screenshot a DM she was getting after the last game and dropping N-bombs and everything for the Las Vegas Aces starting point guard.
Yeah.
That goes on everywhere.
Sure it does. I mean,
what do you mean? What was your example? I'm sorry.
Well, I got to look it up before I say anything on the air. It was pretty bad. The situation happened with his wife.
Oh, okay.
Getting heckled from a non-bettor, but on the road, goes up into the stands. I don't blame the guy.
I don't either at all.
I really don't.
Of course not. Not like some usher who's like pushing 100 is going to help you if something's dangerous.
Yeah. All right, so we'll continue with this. Get you an update here on the semifinal match between Spain and France. And also, Doug with a nice winner involving the Mercury last night. He has a bet tonight as well on the other WNBA game going on. Find out what that is coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Yeah, I think we put together what everybody here at the book behind us at Circus Sports, what they have in pocket for this game. There was France had a good opportunity there moments ago. They did not score, but they trailed 2-0, 83rd minute. And the whole place was going crazy. The total's 2.5. They need another goal. everybody here has the over, obviously.
That was the popular play coming in, right?
It was.
Because France was the betting favorite. That's their MO, and they're scoreless right now.
The draw right now is 13-1. If France can score in the next 3 minutes, this entire thing changes.
So we're in the 84th minute. How much extra time do you think have we ever had less than 6?
Well, even if they put, we've had 4.
Okay. Wow.
So even if they put 7 up, it might go 10-11. You never know. That's my biggest.
You think we're looking at like 14 more minutes, 13 more minutes?
Yeah, in the neighborhood.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 goals is not crazy.
But not, and then by the way, the juice keeps coming down. It was moments ago, it was $1.41 a DK to get one more goal, now minus 24 cents.
Every 30 seconds matters.
Yeah.
I will say all the crazy late game heroics we've had, a lot of that were teams that weren't of this ilk.
Yeah.
With that being said, a lot of them did not have the firepower that France does.
Basically, none of them.
Right.
For the most part. Okay, so you had a winner last night with the Mercury, their team total in the first quarter over.
Yeah, it was classic flat spot, right?
Yep.
Minnesota off the biggest win of the year, and another team off 3 straight losses, including getting thumped by 48. Clearly, they played with more intensity and edge.
Did you get hooked in the other game?
Yes.
That stings.
Painful. But they were down 2 mid-4th.
Okay.
So I laid 9.5, but, I mean, they were up 9 at halftime, whatnot.
We have one more game
11 at halftime.
One more game on the betting board tonight. We had one game today at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock out here, and you were watching and tweeting about it the entire time. Takeaways from that game earlier today?
So I've said this, the number one mistake that recreational bettors make, and I've done it a million times, I still do it probably, is you come up with a narrative in your head, a betting angle on a game. You know, in the NFL, we have West Coast teams going east early, things like that. And if your bet wins, you assume that your analysis was the reason your bet won. So here we have Portland from the Pacific time zone playing at 8 a.m. body clock time. Now, they had already played in Atlanta a few days ago, so they weren't just flying into Connecticut. But clearly, the home team was obviously more situated on their home court, everything like that, home beds and everything. And Portland was down 10 at half and ended up losing, and they were a slight favorite, I believe. So anyone who bet Connecticut because of the body clock and whatnot thinks they nailed the handicap. My counter to that is it could have been that, but it also could have been one team played better. Certain 3-pointers went in, certain dot. Brittany Griner got pulled late. That allowed Portland to get back. I mean, there's so many things. Substitution fouls, horrible refs, horrible challenges by the coaches, bonehead plays.
Now, you were tweeting about that. Was that on the away team? The bad coaching, or was it
everyone?
All? It was everybody,
teams,
okay.
Both teams. It's to the point where I thought the Connecticut Sun might be tanking because I know they're relocating. They may want star power. Juju Watkins, I believe, is available out of USC. She's a star. Or they're just bad. So I don't really know the answer. Connecticut was favored by 2.5, won by 3. So you may have laid it because
or money line.
Right, or the body clock. But either way, these refs, these coaches are stupid. But NBA coaches are stupid with their challenges. Often they remove logic. It's like a blackjack player on tilt. That's the best analogy. They get so frustrated because of missed calls here and there that they challenge a play when you just can't. It's low EV over the course of a game.
Okay. By the way, in your opinion, how many good coaches are there in the WNBA? And name them. Which teams have a good coach?
I'd have to go down the list. So
Golden State, certainly.
I think Minnesota has the best coach.
Okay.
Cheryl Reeves, she's the favorite, odds on to win Coach of the Year. She's won it a few times. She just became the winningest coach in WNBA history. I think 320 wins. She's awesome, was just the USA women's head coach. Becky Hammond, obviously very good. Not amazing, but very good. The Golden State coach who won rookie Coach of the Year last year, solid. I think the Dallas coach is new. He's new. He came over from South Florida women's program. He would compete with Gino over the years at UConn. He's solid.
After that,
going down the list here. I mean, look, the Toronto coach, she's been there forever in the league. That's an expansion.
Right.
She was fired in New York for a reason, even though she had won a title. Like, there's certain coaches are good. Like, she's good for, like, building an expansion team.
Okay.
And she's been there forever. She's not bad. She's just not one of my first choices. Maybe the Phoenix coach. We don't know. Last year he went to the finals, so you got to give him some latitude. I like the Seattle coach. She's from MIT and is very math driven. She's a first year. We'll see. Verdict is still out.
Okay. Can anybody on the list overtake the favorite, as you said, the Lynx coach, to win that award?
Probably not. I liked Becky Hammond. I sat here in the studio opening night and said I liked her at 21. Part of the reason is I thought she would get a lot of momentum and juice for taming the wild animal that is Kennedy Carter, but she's since been released. Okay. So that was I just don't think there's a path there. Maybe the Dallas coach.
That's who I was going to bring up.
Well, I liked him going in this season, but he was bet down to like 11-1, 10-1. I mean, I just think it's going to be Cheryl Reeve.
Okay. Fair enough. Do you have a bet on tonight's game?
I bet Marina Mabrey over 23.5 points. She's the girl who had 53 points a couple weeks ago that tied a league record, and she did not do it like Bam did. And fouling.
They took her out of the game.
Yeah, they took her out of the game, and Bam was fouling to extend the game. I mean, that was just ridiculous what went down. So anyways, she scored 27 both meetings with the Mystics. They lead the league in free throws because they have a giant front line. They have a couple other players that draw fouls, and so this game can get more possessions, meaning more opportunities for her. Now, the key here is they had a two-headed sort of backcourt that was awesome. One of the players is Brittany Sykes. She's been out a while, so Mabrey's been the focal point, but she's also been getting all the shots up. So that's part of the reason I like it, and I think odds makers don't really have a firm sort of understanding of how to give her props. Now, she laid an egg against Golden State recently, but the Valkyries have the number one defense. So when she's faced teams that aren't that great defensively, like Washington tonight, she can cruise over here. So I think the upside's there. It'll be a little sweaty because 23.5 is obviously a big number.
Sure it is. So no ladder here. You don't want to go like 30 plus or anything like that. It's so high already.
It's really tough. But she's obviously dropped big numbers, and I just think it gives me a little action on the game, and I think there's a small edge there. Yeah.
Okay, I'll point this out for those of you who want to bet the Summer League tonight as well. A couple of things you need to know. And Zach Cohen of the great write-up at vsin.com. The Bulls take on the Wizards tonight, right? So the Wizards need to win the game. Chicago does not. Really bad loss by the Bulls last night. They got beat by Utah 80-63 without Darren Peterson. They cannot make the semifinals of that game. So what's the motivation for Chicago? And will they actually just play is Caleb Wilson going to go out there and be playing in the third and the fourth quarter?
We don't know. I mean, sometimes, like Peterson was given the green light in that first game, and a lot of times they just don't care about playing team ball because these guys aren't going to make the roster.
Yeah.
So it's not about looking the right part. It's about getting your shots off.
Yeah, and the Lakers take on the Clippers tonight. Now, the Lakers are 2-0 in the Summer League.
Oh, yeah.
They win this game, and they have a shot at the semifinals. Keaton Wagler for the Clippers was really good in the previous game, especially the second half for the clip joint in that spot. And the Clippers are favored here.
By 4 or 3.5.
3.5, yeah. Yep.
I would say Lakers. They've been pretty surprised. They've drafted well over the years, all things considered, except for the year they took Mo Wagner ahead of Robert Williams, one pick, because Pelinka also went to Michigan. I'm not bitter at all, no.
No, not at all. As a lifelong Lakers guy, I haven't talked to you about this on the air. And I've said this many times on the show with Paulie, I like the Lakers next year in the regular season.
Yeah, I've watched, obviously, regularly. I know what you're saying. I'm curious. I think what Luka did with the Mavs to get to the finals, that was misleading, very misleading. That was circumstantial. It was a mirage. I don't think that roster or that framework would have any chance in making the finals now. So building a team to appease, they're just trying to appease him. All they want is him to sign an extension. They prioritize that over actually winning a championship. They don't believe in this roster. They just are doing it so he will sign an extension whenever that time comes.
I think I want nothing.
It's all about branding.
Yeah, I will not take them to win anything in the future. I think they would have no chance in the playoffs against certain teams. But I think, and you're right, that year they made the finals, it took, I'll never forget this because I had Oklahoma City futures. I mean, huge numbers.
They wet the bed like no other.
But P.J. Washington couldn't miss in the series. It was just a total outlier.
And Denver blew a 20-point lead in the second half in Game 7 at home.
Yeah. So I do think they're going to win like 50 games.
So one I've heard you say this, so I've thought about it, and obviously everything I hear,
their offense is going to be really good.
But I respect what your analysis, and I think you have a potential there because of J.J. Redick. What he does, he's a psycho with the work he puts in, and it's easier to coach kind of role players than it is stars, right?
I get that.
And he got buy-in from stars. He'll get buy-in from Luka, but can Luka stay healthy? and play defense. That was the thing. Last year, his body gave out when it wasn't used to playing both ends of the court.
Yep. Up next, we'll examine the Open Championship more in depth. Wes Reynolds on the program. We'll get his outrights and placement bets coming up here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.